High performers hang with high performers. I've had so many people tell me, hey, how do I get around other successful people? I feel like my friends are dragging me down. I feel like I've outgrown my friends while I'm working towards success. And I completely understand that. I'm going to tell you today how you can get around other high performers and why you should be around other high performers. So let's define what is a high performer. A high performer is somebody who is successful or they're working extremely hard towards being successful. You think of professional athletes, Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, Messi, all these people, they're high performers. They stand head and shoulders above the rest, right? In our society, when you say high performers, you think of athletes, you think of Taylor Swift, artists, people that have became the very best in what they do. So that's what a high performer is. And why do people want to be around other high performers? Why do you see some of the best athletes hanging out with each other, the most successful businessmen hanging out with super successful other businessmen? Why do you see these elite country clubs and clubs of people that are super successful that want to be around each other? Why do you see that? Because number one, opportunity. When you're around other high performers, opportunity is being spoken in that room. Why is opportunity being spoken in that room? Because if you're successful, there are more opportunities around you. And everybody knows that when you're around each other, you're in the room in which you can actually participate in those opportunities. If you're around people who aren't going anywhere, who aren't building anything, who aren't really creating anything, then how can you expect to be around an opportunity, a business opportunity, maybe an opportunity to become more successful, to learn more, an opportunity to become a better athlete, whatever you're going after. If you're around those high performers, you are going to learn from them by being in their proximity. So that's why they like being around each other, because the opportunities come, and when they come, they participate there, and then they compound their life. Okay, they also know why high performers want to be around each other is because they know that they become their environment. When you're around people who are an addition, who are an increase, who are positive, who are going places, who are actually doing something in their life, that is contagious. It is contagious when you're around somebody with a great attitude. It's contagious when you're around somebody who's successful. So that's why high performers want to be around high performers. They say, hey, if they can do it, they're pushing me to be a high performer because of what they're doing. It's inspiring being around you. I like being around that person because they're going after success, and it reminds me I need to go after success too. It reminds me that we need to take this life that we have serious, because we only have a short window in order to go after success and go after our opportunities. So I'm reminded right now that I need to go after it. The environment that you're in can make or break you. This is why I say, if you're around people who are negative, drudge going through their day, complain all day long, they're a victim, everything's as a result of somebody else, of why they're in their situation, the government, the politics, the money, whatever it is, if they're a victim in their life, you can't be around those people. They're going to drag you down, and they're going to put you in a spot in which you don't need to be. So you need to limit your time around those people. High performers know that, and they limit their time around low performers so they continue to excel and succeed. This is going to require you to say goodbye to some of your friends, to cut off those friends, to potentially cut off family members. Just because we're family doesn't mean that you have to bring me down with your negativity, okay? I'll see you on Thanksgiving, Christmas, and the 4th of July. Thank you very much, okay? Don't let other people bring you down. Audit your environment. That means go over, review, make sure it's correct. That's what audit means. That's what we're going to do. We're going to review our environment. Another reason high performers want to be around each other is because they don't have a taste for mediocre, okay? I don't want to hear about how hard your life is and how the odds are stacked against you when I'm going after something in which the odds are probably stacked against me, right? Successful people are almost not blind to their obstacles, but they want to be positively reinforced by their environment. When I say no taste for mediocre, it means, hey, mediocre is saying, well, I tried, it's just not in the cards. No, successful people say, hey, I tried, I will try again until I succeed. I have no taste for mediocre people who give up, who don't go after things, who aren't doing anything. It's just average conversations of people saying, oh, la, la, la. Where is the inspiring story in which you're living out? If there's no inspiration of what you're doing, no positivity, nothing that you're running after, nothing that you're chasing, then what are you doing in this life? High-performing people want to be around people who are writing their own story. They want to be around exciting people who are building something that they can share about their progress and their mishaps and things that they could potentially improve on. Maybe they can get something out of that person that they might be able to improve their situation. It's mediocre talking about the funny things of life. No, successful people know that it's serious and the time is now. Seize the day. Mediocre is not the time right now. And they have no taste for that. It's not something they want to be around. It's a bitter taste. They want to get it out of their life, okay? So now that I've explained why high performers hang around each other, I've probably convinced you that it's time for you to get around other high performers, okay? So I'm going to give you 5 things that you need to do right now so how you can be a high performer. How can you do this? Because it's important that you're around high performers, because if you want to be successful in life, you want to do big things, you want people to remember you, you need to become a high performer. Okay? So the first thing we need to do is we need to get up before the sun gets up. There is something special about getting up before the sun gets up. Because if you can beat the sun up, you have this feeling that you've beat other people up as well. That means you've won something in your day. Right? And there's something about the stillness of a morning in which you can collect your thoughts, you can journal, you can really think clearly. It's a blank canvas for the entire day. When you do it at night, it's not a blank canvas. You need a blank canvas for the entire day because you can say, okay, I have my day here. What am I going to do with my day? What am I going to do to become successful today? It's the beginning of a journey is the morning, okay? So successful people, high performers know, hey, I got to get up before the sun gets up and I got to lay out a plan. I got to work ahead so I have the opportunity to become a better version of myself today. Number 2, we need to change and focus our career. And when I say change, if you're not in a career, let me say one thing real quick about high performers. And this is the secret that you probably didn't want to hear today, but it's the truth, okay? The high truth is high performers make big money. They make a lot of money. High performers make a lot of money. Name any high performer in the comments right now that doesn't make a lot of money. So if you're telling me, hey, you know what, I can be a high performer without making a lot of money. And that's not true. Money is the scoreboard of what your performance is. If you're great at anything, society pays you for it. Okay? So your target is not, I don't want to maximize my money. I'm good. I don't want any more. No, your target should be the money, okay? So your target should be, hey, how much more money can I make if I'm a high performer? Okay, so if you're in a career path or you're in a position where you're not going to get rewarded for performing at a higher level, then you should get out of that career. Okay, you should change. If you're not being rewarded in your career, then you need to change your career. It may not be the advice that you have. Okay, it may not be the advice that is you like, but it's the advice you need, okay? You need to change your career. Number 2, if you don't need to change your career and you're saying, hey, if I become a high performer in here, I can be rewarded for this, then you need to focus on your career and you need to start becoming a high performer in that company that you're at, or say, I'm going to focus on my career and create a business outside of this career, okay? So focus your career, okay? So after you become a high performer, as you become a high performer, the money will come if you change your career in the right career path or if you focus on your current career. Number 3, you need to network, okay? How do you get around other high performers? You need to network. The more hands you shake, the more money you make. That's the saying, right? So you need to, number 1, you need to go to where the high performers are, okay? So after you've changed your career, you focused your career, whatever it is, you need to find out where the high performers are. Are they at the country club? Are they at a local networking group? Are they at a church? I don't know where they're at, but you need to find where they're at and get in that room. A lot of times it costs money to get in the room. But like I said, the more hands you shake, the more money you make. So you need to get in the room and network so you can increase and get around high performers. Like I said, you can't get the opportunity until you get in the room and you hear the opportunity. If you don't hear the opportunity, you can't participate in it, and you can't reap the rewards for the opportunity if you don't sit in that room and listen to it. So you need to get in those rooms, you need to get in those discussions. They need to know who you are. When people know who you are, you're allowing yourself to be successful, and you're allowing it to be a lot easier because somebody's helping you out, okay? So find your people today. Find your high performers today. Number 4, the next thing you need to do is you need to get into shape. Okay, this is unrelated to anything I've ever talked about on this video, but let me tell you, the reason you need to get in shape and you need to get your body looking good is because I fully believe this, that your body is a window into your discipline. Okay? Your body is a window into your discipline, which means, hey, if I'm in good shape, that means I've been able to discipline myself and control myself into working out, eating healthier, and becoming a better version of myself physically. Because when I can be a better version physically of myself, then I can work harder, I can work better, my mind's more clear, I'm a better version of myself. So then people also want to be around other people who are, hey, I'm taking care of myself, okay? So you need to get into shape, get yourself disciplined. And because when you're a high performer, it's in every section of your life. It's not just in your career. It's not just in your relationships, of your physical health, your networking. Yeah, you may have a great network, but you're about to die in 2 or 3 years. Come on. You got to get in good shape because your health will determine your wealth down the road. What's the point of having all the money in the world if you don't have your health, right? So let's get our health together. Number 5, we need to get our relationships at a high performing level. What's that mean? It means, hey, make sure that your relationship with your wife is great. Make sure your relationship with your kids are great. High performers understand that a great home life is the foundation for them exceeding in their life. If you don't have a great home life and you're going back to these toxic relationships that you have, partly because of you. First thing to do to improve your relationships is the mirror in the bathroom. That's looking at yourself. You need to look at yourself and you need to say, hey, what am I doing? Even if it's not my fault, what can I do to improve the situation? High performers, you know the truth? They look at themselves before they look at somebody else. Okay? So high performers look at themselves and they say, what can I improve on? How can I make my situation better? Even though people are difficult to deal with, even though family members are hard sometimes, even though kids are crazy sometimes, how can I improve? Because that's what I can control. I can't control sometimes other people's decisions, but I can control myself, how I react to them, how I build a culture at home, how do I interact at home. Everybody's watching you as a high performer. You realize that? Everybody's eyes are on you. When people's eyes are on you, they're watching you. And they're wanting to make sure, hey, what are you doing? Are you setting the tone? If you're not setting the tone as a high performer, then you're not a high performer. Set the tone in your household and become that role model, become that high performer in your household that your kids and your wife or your husband can follow, okay? So high performers, right? Who wouldn't want to be a high performer? Why would you not want to be a high performer? Anybody can be a high performer. And I 100% agree with that. I 100% believe it with my being that anybody can be a high performer if you say, hey, all it takes today is one mindset shift. All you have to do is change your mindset and say, hey, look, I'm done with the mediocre, the average life. It's time for me to become a high performer. It's time for me to become elite. And that starts with changing your mindset and following what I've outlined today. And if you want more content on business, motivation, entrepreneurship, give me a follow, give me a like today. Comment if you like this video. I put some effort into this. I put some emotion into this. So I want you to give me some love in the comments. Come on, give me some love. Let's go. And give me a subscribe and a like.